Hey YouTube, this is the second part of my two-part upload and this is my newly formed 4th generation team. This second battle is against DNI, who I met through the Smogon Wi-Fi-Battle Finder. This is the second part of my two-part upload for today. I'm going to start off with Georgina, my Chimchar, as he sends out his Dwebble. Now, I have no idea why, but he goes ahead and pulls back his Dwebble and goes into Ghastly. Well, I'm just free to set up my Stealth Rock. So next, I'm going to Protect just to scout out what this Ghastly's going to do. And he's just going to go for the Shadow Ball, which, you know, no big deal, I could probably take it. But now he's going to withdraw his Ghastly and go into a Slowpoke. Not sure why, but he accurately predicted some kind of move, and I just go for the Fire Blast, and it does nothing to this Slowpoke. So now I'm just going to go for the U-turn, and it does a little more than the Fire Blast did, but not really enough to make a difference. I mean, damage is damage. So now I'm free to go into my Super Kami Guru, my Shellos. And he just goes for the Slack Off, so he's going to get back most of the HP he lost. So I go for the Hidden Power. It's, yeah, you know what, I'll let you guys guess which Hidden Power it is. But as you can see, it's super effective. And he's going to go for the Zen Headbutt, and it's going to hit me really hard. It's going to take me below, it's going to do more than half HP, more than half damage. Anyway, he's going to pull back his Slowpoke and go into his Pharaoh Seed, and I'm just gonna go for another Hidden Power, and it doesn't do jack to this Pharaoh Seed, so I'm gonna have to switch. No, it's pretty funny. I get a critical hit, so yeah, I'm gonna have to switch. So I just go back out into my Georgina, and he goes for the Substitute. And, you know, it's kind of odd. I've never seen a Pharaoh Seed that runs Substitute. I think after the battle, he told me that this Pharaoh Seed is actually an offensive set. So that would kind of make sense. Kind of like a Sub-Punch set, you know, where it goes for Substitute and then Focus Punch for some extra protection. Anyway, I go for the Fire Blast, take out its Sub. He goes to the Gyro Ball. It does nothing to me. That's because Georgina is actually a defensive variant with EVO-Lite, and not a lot of people expect that. Anyway, he sends out his Darumaka, and I just go for Fire Blast again, and it does a lot of damage. And here he's gonna go for U-turn once again. I'm defensive variant. It's not gonna do anything, and he just goes back out to his Slowpoke. As I go for the Fire Blast again, considering how much damage it did to Darumaka that first time. I think I might have been able to KO. But as you can see, it doesn't do anything. It does a small chunk, not even a fourth. So I go for the U-turn, and that Slowpoke's getting pretty low on health. And now I go into my Mini-Me, my Munchlax. Which, now that I think about it, I really should have gone into my Shellos. It would have resisted the hit, and I should have seen it coming. Anyway, here he's going to pull back his Slowpoke and go into Timber. But I've got a little surprise for this Timber. I go for the return, and it almost KOs. Almost. And here, I'm going to have to pull back because, you know, it's a Timber, it's fighting type, my Munchlax won't be able to take it. So now I go into my Hot-Headed, my Drifloon, as he goes for the Force Palm, but it doesn't affect me, so, you know, whatever. Here, I'm expecting him to switch into Pharaoh Seed, so I just want to go for a Shadow Ball for stab damage, even if it's resisted. And it does a little bit, but not much. So now I'm going to have to switch, because I've got nothing to hit this thing with. So now I go back out into my Mini-Me, and he's just going to go for the Gyro Ball. But considering how slow my Mini-Me is, it's not going to do anything. Oh, he does get a crit, and but as it didn't, that crit didn't matter at all. Anyway, he pulls back and goes into his Timber for death fodder, essentially, as I go for the Fire Punch. So now he knows that my Munchlax has Fire Punch, and he's probably not gonna put in his Pharaoh Seed against it. So here he goes into his Darumaka, and you know, I don't know if this thing has superpower or not, and I don't want to find out. So I switch into my Super Kamiguru, essentially his Death Water. He goes for the Flare Blitz, and while I do resist it, I don't have good defenses, and it's going to knock me out. But thanks to the recoil, it's going to knock him out too. So now I go back into my Chimchar, Georgina, just to scout out what he's going to do. And he goes back into his Dwebble, which, you know, it's pretty much like the beginning of the battle all over again. So this time I go for the Fire Blast, and it KOs. Kinda odd. I'm wondering if that thing wasn't running Eeviola or not. Anyway, he goes back into his Slowpoke, as I just go for the U-turn. So I U-turn out, and now I'm gonna go into my Grow-Up Bulb, my Badoo, who can pretty much take any kind of hit this thing has, except for Zen Headbutt, but I'm not too worried. Anyway, he goes for the Thunder Wave, and it's gonna paralyze me, and it's gonna suck. And I figure I've got a 50-50 chance to Giga Drain this thing, so I go for the Giga Drain as he goes for the Zen Headbutt. Unfortunately, I get paralyzed, and he's going to be able to 2-hit KO. But this does give me an opportunity to get a free switch, so I'm not too disappointed by it. So I'm going to send out Hot-Headed, my Drifloon. So I'm thinking a Shadow Ball, well, really any kind of move I use is going to knock it out. So again, expecting to switch into Pharaoh Seed, I go for the Shadow Ball just to get some damage on there, and it does some damage, not a lot. And now I'm thinking, and I get the special defense drop, but as you're just gonna see, it doesn't matter. Now here I'm thinking it's at low enough HP that I might be able to knock it out with a boost, Flying Gem boosted acrobatics, and I was right. So now this is an unburdened set, so now my speed is doubled, and I can proceed to sweep. So here he sends out Ghastly, and I'm just going to Shadow Ball it, and that's going to KO it, one-hit KO it, no problem. So down it goes, and now he's going to send out his Slowpoke again. And, you know, I'm just going to Shadow Ball it, and that's it. And I think this is his last Pokemon. So this is the end of the battle. Yeah. Thanks for that battle, DNI. As you all can see, this team runs much more smoothly than the last team did. Okay, without further ado, let's get to the commenter question of the day. Today's commenter question comes from Zook, who commented on my video, Here I Am, Rock You Like a Hurricane, who asks, how you get so much shiny. Bad grammar aside, the shiny Pokemon I get are, most of them are, how do I explain it? I use Pokegen for most of my shiny Pokemon, and, but there is a rare occasion where I will get a shiny Pokemon on its own through breeding. For instance, like I stated in my challenge in my last video, the Pokemon that I'm giving away came out shiny, but I didn't want it shiny, so that's why I'm giving it away. And the Pineco from my second generation team is actually a natural shiny. It wasn't Pokegen or anything. Okay, so I hope that answers your question, and I'll see you guys all later. So yeah, comment, rate, subscribe, and challenge.